Hey guys, Kole Northland here with the Northland Adventures. Today I'm going to show you guys what I use most often out in the water. It's wintertime here in Iowa. I've been sitting inside a lot. I'm pretty much bored out of my mind, so I'm going to try and keep myself busy. Things that I throw most often are going to be things that I look for in wood, like fallen trees, stumps, a lot of cover, a lot of thick stuff. Okay, where bass are going to hide on points, near structures such as bridges, underground roadways, things like that, okay? But most often here in Iowa, the best thing you can find is wood. If you can find wood, oftentimes you can find bass, okay? So I'm going to show you some of the few things that I use, that are my confidence base, is what we call them. I'll fish with these things for hours. Just because I know that they catch fish. I've caught a lot of fish on them. I've won a lot of tournaments with them. Okay, so what we have here are the things that I use most often while I'm out fishing, alright? Two most common things that I use are a Texas rig and a jig, okay? For a Texas rig, your main ingredients are going to be your bobber stop. That's what they look like there. They come in groups of 5 usually, and that you just put your line through the hole here and you slide that bobber stop on there. That's going to keep your sinker from sliding up and down on the line too far, okay? Next thing is a hook. That's an offset hook there, extra wide gap, the red. I don't know, there's a big speculation on whether red catches more fish because it, shines red like it's bleeding or whatever. I don't know the science behind it, but I'll do anything to increase my chances. There looks like a 3/0 extra wide gap hook that I use for my worms. Excuse me. And here's a flipping hook, which this past summer I won a lot of tournaments using this, and it looks kind of funny sticking on your baits, but because of this keeper here on top, that's going to keep your lure from sliding down the hook, which gets really annoying when you're out there, you're trying to make a lot of casts. And finally, what you're going to need is your sinker. This is just a regular lead sinker. I usually use a tungsten sinker, but I don't want to take them out of the package because they're kind of a pain. I guess you're also going to need your bait. Some type of bait. This is a creature bait, which I throw a lot around wood. Its narrow design allows it to slide really easily down a structure and cover. And it's really easy to pull back out. But I would say most of the time when I'm fishing these laydowns and stumps, I'm using 12 to 15 pound line. I don't like to go real heavy with the Texas rig. I like the lighter line that you can use, the better action that it's going to get. Alright, and the better action means more fish, obviously, okay? So this is really one of my favorite baits I use for laydowns in a Texas rig style. It's a Big Bites bait, and it's a 6-inch creature bait. Okay, these things come super cheap. That's why I've used Big Bites, because they're one of the cheapest out there, and they got good products. I mean, I catch a lot of fish on what they use. My number 2 heavy hitter, possibly, I mean, they compete with each other. I use them pretty much both equally. Okay, it's a Berkeley power bait. I use the black and blue a lot. Power bait worm, okay? This is a 10-inch. When summer gets hot and they're eating large baits, I'll switch over to a 12-inch. You'd be surprised. When I was a little bit intimidated when I started throwing this 12-inch worm. I was like, there's no way, because we don't have giant fish in Iowa. It's no secret. We catch a lot of 12-inch fish, a lot of 14s right in that area. I've caught a lot of 10-inch fish on this 12-inch worm. They get so hungry and they'll eat anything really. But I think that bigger profile really helps them find it. We don't have a lot of clear water here. And I'll stick some rattles in there sometimes too. Okay, moving on. The next thing that I use a lot are going to be these jigs here. Okay, this is just a plain old jig. You tie your line up here, and yeah, you stick a trailer on the end of it. I'll show you that here in a minute. This one's got a different color. This one's a green and orange, it looks like, and it's got a double rattle here on the front. That times I'll use a rattle is when it's really dirty water, or I'm fishing a lot of cover. Just because that helps them find the bait easier. Okay. Okay, so I've got a trailer here. This is a net bait pack a chunk trailer. Like you can see that it's got a really small body, and what you do is you just take this little chunk here, and you're gonna push this hook, and you're just gonna thread it right through there. Alright, through the center, all the way until it pops out the end. Push it up over that keeper, and just like that. Now, when I'm using such a small trailer like this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this skirt, I'm actually going to trim it. When you trim the skirt of a jig, it's going to flare out more, causing it to get more action. Okay? Like I said, more action, more fish. That's what that means. Okay, so those are the main things that I use. My comfort baits, my confident baits. When I'm out on the water, just everyday fishing. In most situations, these are what catch me fish. The Texas rig and a jig. That's basically what I'm catching fish on. Thanks for watching, and subscribe if you want to, and I'm going to make some more videos.